Hello and welcome back. We're gonna do another gift guide. This is the kind of gift guide that I hope will really help you buy something for that guy who just, you can't seem to buy anything for. I've tried to make sure that everything in this video is relatively affordable. Now that being said, if I can think of an upgrade, I will certainly mention it. But most of the stuff in this video will be around 50 bucks, maybe under 100. Some of these things will be $10 or $15, either way. So let's get right into it. Chloe and I, we're gonna talk about our favorite gifts of the year. Of course, for her, it's always treats or something like that, or a good tennis ball, so she's really easy to buy for. But guys like me, or maybe guys like you, or your boyfriend or husband or whatever, not so easy to buy for. So let's get right into it. Number one is the Pilot Metropolitan fountain pen. Maybe you're not into fountain pens. I wasn't either. And then I actually got myself one of these. They're cheap. They're somewhere under 20 bucks, even if you get one of the aluminum barreled ones. But the good thing about them is that they write like a dream. They're reliable. Pilot is one of the most trusted names in the business. And when it comes to a value, fountain pen, this is a great option. And I think it's a good gift because it's one of those things that's sort of unexpected. Somebody will get it and be like, really, a fountain pen? And then maybe they'll realize how much they like writing with one, because it is a pleasurable experience. It makes you take a lot more time with your writing, and people always make fun of me because I have really bad handwriting, especially being a lefty. When I write with a fountain pen though, it actually makes me stop and think a little bit more about how I write, and take a little bit more pride in it. So this may just be one of those things that opens up a whole rabbit hole, don't blame me for it, of a new hobby for somebody. Number two is from Cockpit USA. It's $50. It's a book called Cowboys of the Sky. She wants a treat. Get over here, over here. Now, this is actually a look at the most iconic leather jackets in history. It looks really, really cool. As a matter of fact, I want one of these things, definitely for my bookshelf. Now, that being said, I think shipping is a little bit more on it, so you may be paying like, 65 bucks or whatever. Who knows how much shipping is right now. But either way, you can get yourself this book, or maybe one for your loved one, maybe one for me, just saying. Looks like it's full of great old photographs, a great history of, leather jackets and stuff. So if you're into this kind of thing, or if you're into vintage leather jackets or military type of stuff, this will be perfect. So anyway, Cowboys of the Sky. Now for number three, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a shameless plug here, but maybe some Carl Murawski merchandise, huh? Hey, there is a link in my description below. I actually have a couple of really neat looking, I think at least, logos that I've put on there. One of the sayings that I've sort of overused and that people sort of recognize me for is a term called patina cheat code, which is referring to any material that ages gracefully and beautifully very quickly. So we're talking about, waxed canvas and vegetable tan leather and that kind of thing. So anyway, patina cheat code is up there. There's a couple other things there with my logo on them. It's actually all distributed and made by a company called Fourth Wall. I've ordered some of the samples from there. They're very nice, and I can specify the quality level that I want for my stuff to be. I always select the highest quality level, made in America when possible. So you'll find a lot of stuff on there that will actually be decent to wear, thank God. Anyway, Carl Murawski merchandise available at the link below. You're gonna get real fat with all this. Next up, from a company called Cool Material, is a lock-picking kit. How cool is this? First of all, any guy who says that they haven't had a fantasy about being like James Bond or a spy or something is absolutely lying to you. Guaranteed, okay? So this might be practical, it might not be. It might be one of those things that you learn, like how to pick a lock, that you think, it's a neat thing to do, and then it really comes in handy at some point. I really hope that you don't use this for any, nefarious reasons, but either way, for 40 bucks, you can get yourself a lock-picking kit. This is one of those things that I bet you would just be a lot of fun, that you put it on the table and you start messing around with it and you start kind of seeing the way a lock works. It comes with a transparent lock, so you can kind of see the inner workings as you're using the pick set. It's one of those things where it's like with quicksand, I've always wanted to see it in real life, always wanted to check it out, and this is a great opportunity to do it. So for 40 bucks, I think it's a pretty neat little option. For just over 100 bucks, there is the Gray's Wool Slipper Boot. I got a pair of these last year. And as far as around the house, I can't tell you a boot that I've worn more. Now, it's a boot, in the sense that it's a taller shoe, but the whole thing's made out of wool. It's very comfortable, but the bottom is also rubberized, so you can wear it outside. I bring it out when I bring her to go, do her business in the mornings and stuff like that. Go and get the mail, just walking around the house, that kind of thing. Since my wife will not allow me in the house with shoes, and actually, she kind of has an issue with me wearing these outside and then wearing them inside, so often they're relegated to just indoor use. But either way, these have been one of the best purchases that I've made this last year. 108 bucks. Doesn't sound like it's a great value, right? I mean, that's pretty expensive. but still, it's all wool. Very nice stuff. And I really like them myself, so I hope you will too. Don't bite my buttons. Now, my next item is also today's sponsor, and that's Musk and Hustle. Musk and Hustle actually makes these super concentrated fragrances that smell a heck of a lot like the designer fragrances that you would get in a department store or elsewhere. One of my favorite fragrances of all time is by a company called Creed. It's called Aventus. It's also like almost $500 a bottle. Crazy expensive. That's the kind of money that I would rather spend on a pair of boots than a fragrance itself. And if I can get something that smells damn near close, which this certainly does, I would rather save the money and go with that. So not only is it good for people who don't want to take out a second mortgage on their house, this is also a cool company, small company. All of their stuff is custom blended in southern Utah, but they also make, that's a small version there, but they also make these little samples right here. So one of my other favorite fragrances is by Tom Ford. It's called Oud Wood. I also like their Tuscan leather a lot. And if you want to get one of these just to travel with, you can do that as well. So look how tiny that is. It's adorable, isn't it? Now, this company is also really good for trying out some of these fragrances. Let's say you do want to buy the actual branded version of this stuff and spend that kind of money, totally up to you. This is a good way to go ahead and try a whole bunch of samples and see which one you like. Wear it around and see if it's your thing or not. So that's what they're great for. Great for travel, great for trying out a different fragrance if that's what you're into, great for saving money if you don't want to spend the full amount. But also, let's say you're buying this for a loved one. And you're like, hey, it'd be kind of cool if you got into smelling nice because you smell like a damn, used diaper or something most of the time. This might be a good way to be like a subtle nudge and be like, hey, you know what? Why don't you try wearing something that smells nice instead of that old ratty thing that Carl told you to never wash because it looks cool when it patinas? Why don't you do that? Get them some of these, see which one that they like and which one they might gravitate towards. It's a good way to start getting into smelling nice. Now, I always ask for a sample from any company who decides that they may want to sponsor this channel, just so I make sure that I'm not selling you a bunch of goods that are garbage. Everything that I tell you about, I genuinely like, and I think it really fits into a lot of categories that would be very, very useful for guys who watch my channel. So anyway, Musk and Hustle, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. All right, up next is Beardbrand Utility Balm. Now, full transparency, I know and am friends with the guy who owns Beardbrand. That being said, even though I'm friends with him, I have used a lot of different beard products throughout the year, some of which have been great, and some of them which really weren't great at all. Can you not bite me? Thanks. But I really like their beard balm. It's the only product that I use currently because it kind of does everything. It keeps my flyaways, when my beard gets a little longer like it is right now, it keeps them from looking, too scraggly. It makes my beard nice and soft, so it's nice to touch. And I also really like their fragrances. I mean, a lot of people like their Old Money scent. My favorite though is their Temple Smoke. So if you've tried everything else out there and you want to give something a shot, or if you're just looking into growing a beard now and you need some decent product, I really don't think that you can go wrong with these guys. Up next is my favorite underwear of choice, and this is the thing that I ask for every year from everybody in my family. They always say, hey, what do you want? You kind of have everything, and it's true, especially doing this. I mean, I can make an excuse to buy almost everything that I want. I always ask for the 2 Under Powershift. Now, they're a pair of underwear, okay? I know, socks and underwear, how exciting, right? But I gotta tell you, I can't tell you which one is the first pair that I bought because they don't seem to wear out. I mean, they're amazing. They beat the hell out of Tommy John, Ex Officio, any of the other types of underwear that I've bought throughout the years which have ripped or just not been comfortable. These things are next level. So they're so comfortable, they just last a long time. They feel way more durable, and the durability actually holds up in the wash time after time after time. I always ask for 2 Under Powershift. That's the particular model. I know they have a lot of other ones, and I've tried some of those, but none are as good as the Powershift. That seems to be their most durable model, and the thing is awesome. So everybody who asks me what I want for Christmas or my birthday or anything like that, I always tell them I want a pair of these, and now I got a pretty good selection going because I think they're about 30 bucks a pair, which isn't cheap, but let me tell you what, when I go to reach in my drawer for a pair of underwear to grab, those are the ones I want. Up next for $129 is the JBL Flip series. Now, I think they're up to the Flip 6. I have the Flip 4, which is awesome, and what are you bringing me? You see, this is what happens when you have drums. No. When you have drums upstairs, they think that your mallets are a toy. No, that's not for you. No, sit, be a good girl. Anyway, the Flip series is great. And what I like about JBL is they sound really good. They're decently priced, 129 bucks for this. And I use it all the time, especially in the workshop, out in the car, and it fills up the room with sound. So I used to play through a job site radio, but now I do this. And I even know guys who bring these things with them because it's about the size of a soda can, and they just bring it along and they use that as their radio, their site radio. So when I go and I do something, I was doing trim in the house this weekend. I bring it up into that room, and that's where I'll rock my music. Either way, it's waterproof. It sounds incredible. I don't think it gets any better than this as far as portability and sound quality go. JBL Flip series, awesome. Next up for 40 bucks is the double rep wristband from Tanner Goods. Now this is made in the USA. This might not be your style, or it might be. Anyway, a lot of guys don't like a whole lot of jewelry. I'm kind of one of them, but this is a pretty decent little option, especially for this price. It looks awesome, but it looks even better after you get some wear on this thing. As it starts to patina and gain some scars and some oil and dirt from your life, it's gonna look even better. So for 40 bucks, I think this is a damn good option. Up next for $21 is a bandana from the Flathead. The Flathead, it has a long and historied past in Japan, makes some of the finest garments available. Some of their leather jackets are just amazing. Anyway, they're also very, very expensive. Even take a look at their wallets, crazy, crazy. But either way, I really like their stuff. It's always very expensive. This is a great way to get a little bit of the Flathead in your back pocket. If you don't already carry a handkerchief or some sort of a bandana with you as part of your everyday carry, you're really missing out. Is the most useful thing you can buy. Anyway, for 21 bucks, these things are great. Now, I've also heard great things about Mighty Hank and all kinds of stuff like that. So, take a look around if this is something that you're looking to get. But either way, I think this is a cool option, especially for something with a little bit of heritage to it. For $25 from the company Promethius is their Kappa Quick Release. This is one of those items where you don't realize how much you need it until you have it, especially if you have something like work keys or house keys, and then you have car keys on the same thing. You want to be able to separate those. This is what you need. For me, a lot of times we have keys that go to a job site office or go to a lockbox or a Connex box or whatever, and I don't necessarily always want to have that on the same keys as my car keys. So one of these is great because you can attach and reattach different sections of keys or even different things. I mean, if you have a lot of different EDC items on your keychain and you don't always want to bring that with you, like one of those little fold-out knives or something, this is a great way to split it up. For $49, there is the Sidekick from Urban EDC. Now, what this is meant to do is hold a small knife and a pen. I actually kind of came up with something like this a while back where we tried to integrate it into a wallet as well, and it was a front pocket wallet. I kind of stopped using it, I don't know why, but this is sort of the same idea, and basically what it does is it helps you organize your everyday carry by taking those two items which are always seeming to fight for space in your front pocket and put them into a nice, even, means of carrying. That being said, they're all leather. It's 49 bucks, so it's really not gonna break the bank. And it's a great way to take the things that you usually carry anyway and just put them into a nice, neat package. Can you stop being such a cookie monster? For 26 from Stanley, you can get their classic Easy Fill Wide Mouth Flask, which is 8 ounces. It's a great way to carry around a little bit of whatever you want to carry in your pocket. Plus, it has that cool old school retro vibe. I actually have one of these. I've had it for a few years now, and I like it quite a bit. Also, it doesn't look as, I don't know, like seedy as some of those curved flasks, where you doing whatever. You can put whatever you want in this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be alcoholic. But either way, I just dig it. Retro vibe, kind of cool thing, and cheap enough to be a great gift. Up next for $12 for the hardcover is the book Feast by Firelight. Now this is a book that I really want, and it's a whole idea of making stuff outdoors, mostly over a campfire. So if you like to do that kind of thing, and you're looking to get past the typical stuff that you usually make over a campfire, maybe spice it up a bit, this is a great way to do it. Now the Kindle version looks like it's about $7. This is about $12 if you want to get the hardcover. Either way, it seems like it would be a great gift for somebody who likes to spend a lot of time outdoors and maybe wants to start making stuff that people actually want to eat for a change, not like me. Up next is another book, and it's called Fight for the Forgotten. I had the great fortune of meeting Justin Wren, who's a UFC fighter and all that stuff, but I think most importantly, he does a lot of work with the Pygmies. The nonprofit that he set up has already dug something like 40 wells over there, has done so much great work. This is his story about how he got into that work, and it's very, very inspiring. I mean, this is one of those dudes who could really just kill you without even thinking about it. I had a chance to wrestle with this guy, and it's like wrestling a bear. But either way, he's just he's an absolute sweetheart of a man, and is doing some incredible things over there. I mean, really very, very inspiring. So cool book, great guy. I could vouch for him myself, and I think that'd make a cool gift too. Last but not least is Bartenders Blend Coffee. This is a coffee blend that I've started getting into recently. They're a very small group. I'm kind of particular about the coffee that I like, but I really dig this stuff. It tastes fantastic, and it's meant to be used in mixers like alcoholic drinks, but I drink it all by itself. I just think it's that good. Now, if you're a coffee guy or you're just always looking for something new to try, maybe Bartender's Blend is something that you might be into, maybe not. But either way, I think it's worth a shot. I really like it. It's been my kind of morning cup of joe recently, especially, that I've gotten into. So that is my next gift. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget that there's nothing on this list that is worth more than spending time with the people who you love. That's what the holidays are about. Any gift that I could get, I would rather give up and spend time with the person who gave it to me, for the most part, okay? But when it comes to friends and family, you never know when the last time you're gonna see them will be, so please cherish that time. Don't let it be a regret. Seize every moment that you possibly can. And if I don't speak to you before then, please have a happy and safe holiday. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.